No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
That's what that was for!
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case,
That's another important detail. I'm glad you brought that up, Hajime.
since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too?
Here's the fun part.
If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
What's on the menu? A little bit of Teru Teru Hanamura.
Ew! You totally mean that in a perverted way.
Oh yeah, he totally went there. When doesn't he go there? Knife was brought with the Duralumin case and the night vision goggles? I don't like that. No, that doesn't make any sense. Instead, we found the knife underneath the table. It had a little glow to it. But there was something else that had a little glow to it, and it's the only thing that makes sense. The duct tape.
I see! There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid?
Ooh. We found this out right near the end of the investigation.
Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
I was just about to say that, Nagito. It's almost as if he was warned.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Gundam.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
I agree, you were there with me. Yeah, Byakuya was being overly cautious. For a very good reason. He received a very, very threatening message. Someone was going to die tonight.
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
It is a very serious threat.
Hey, the hell is this?
It's a love letter. What do you think?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone? Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
She's got a point.
Wasn't me!
And refuted.
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies! It doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
Prank or not, why would you prank somebody with a threatening letter? This is a murder game.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
Unfortunately, it's not that simple.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone? I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
We're back to this topic again. We still don't know who it is. I mean, obviously. Who could it be? Who could it be?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
Do not anger the Lord of Darkness!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
It's hard to believe that somebody in this room killed our leader. Who could have done it? Who's got a guilty look on their face right now? Everybody, because we were all there. Save for like 2 or 3.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
The ultimate princess has the floor.
What is it, Miss Sonia?
Oh no, a kiss ass.
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
Oh. Oh.
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
It all depends on what kind of mark, Nekomaru. I'm glad everyone brought this up as well. The killer did use a mark. The same mark that was on the duct tape. It was also on the knife. Everything was glowing in the dark.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
Premeditated murder.
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
Uh-oh.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
Exactly. That's kind of the light bulb that went on in my head while we were investigating. Even the blackout was planned.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker.
Oh god, here we go.
Which means it was you, Peko Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
Glory be to people who wear contacts or have great vision!
I am not the killer.
Oh, I guess she's not.
That was quick.
How can you believe her so easily?
Well, I mean, just look at her.
But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
It's another good point. With any of our heights, even Nekomaru, I don't think he can reach it either.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
Oh, you're a fun one, aren't you? Oh, you are going to be hated. Kazuichi has a theory that whoever was in the office could trip the circuit breaker. And Peko was the only one there. This really needs examining further. I don't like this. Too many holes. I like the idea, but there's something else to it, I bet you anything. Oh, great. Oh, let's add something new to the class trials. There's all sorts of fun stuff to add to this today. Blue weak spots. So not only do we have regular weak spots, we will now have blue argue spots. Essentially what these are is you can agree with what somebody says. You don't have to refute it completely. Normally we would just shoot contradictions, but now we can shoot agreements. So if there's something you see that you totally agree with that somebody said, you run with it. You take a truth bullet and you shoot it. And then you go, yeah, I agree with you. That is another interesting thing that was added to Danganronpa 2. The ability to agree with somebody and start a brand new conversation. So if you see the conversation going nowhere, I should say, and there is something that you could advance on, go with it. This will also bring out more lies, which makes it even more fun. Learning all sorts of new stuff in this first-class trial. They're throwing everything at us. There we go. If we find their weakness with a truth bullet, it'll become an agreement, and we'll all agree on something. Oh yeah, you know what? It is a bit stuffy. I got a fan going on in the background. So much added to it. I mean, I love that they're adding stuff. But this is the first trial, for God's sake. Oh, here we go. Brand new truth bullet. Let's go.
Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible. Huh? Why is it impossible? Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry. Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Peko fully admits to not being in the office. Interesting. She must have a really good reason for just openly admitting I wasn't there. Yeah, we did talk with somebody who can back that up. We got 3 testimonies. Let's figure out which one it is.
Peko was in the office.
By the way, if you ever want to speed up the conversation, hold down the circle button.
That's impossible. Huh? Why is it impossible?
Yeah, Peko, tell us why.
Because I was not in the office.
I think somebody can agree.
Not even before.
And I think I know why. Nekomaru!
I agree with that.
She wasn't there because of what Nekomaru said.
No, I think Peko is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Peko.
I do love the dangerous types with swords.
And yet it's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Peko's alibi.
This is silly because I now realize what the game is implying.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started.
Yep.
And it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Yep.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Yep.
Everyone else besides Peko was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Peko. I guess that would be... true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier!
I mean, to be fair, Kaz, it is really embarrassing.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you are so insensitive.
Yeah, Kazuichi, go jump off a bridge!
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit.
Nekomaru, why?
Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners, or were you raised in a locker room?
I'm sorry.
Oh, shot down.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else.
That's what you get for talking shit with Peko, Nekomaru.
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
Can we please move on?
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
Maybe we should move on to something, yeah, like this.
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach.
Terror, your food's awful.
Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited? Seriously, stop it.
God, you're like a mind reader.
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
That's what I'm wondering. It was just bam, right there.
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
Well, think about it, Mahiru. That is way too coincidental.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Oh, you're out of your element, Donnie.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Laxatives?
That would suck.
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
Interesting thought process. That's one way to get rid of the office worker.
I see. That might have happened.
Interesting. So, if the killer really planned that far in advance to get the person who was going to be in the office out of the office, wow. That is way too far in advance. How? Oh, wow, how? We gotta talk about this more. I gotta see this.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird.
Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food. How suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Oh, this is... It could have been laxatives. Those are pretty instantaneous, and they have one effect and one use.
Did you eat
I could think of
anything
something.
weird?
I do want to bring something up, though. This is where you need to start reading your truth bullets. Because the 5 that they gave us, none of them make any sense. Words only. This is why you need to, look a bit closer. Teru poured his heart and soul into cooking various party dishes. Akane and Peko were the only ones who ate them. These are the kind of details that you need to know. Like certain people's names showing up in the description, accounts from other people talking about other characters. These are the things you need to know. And the party dishes is the only one that I can see actually working. Which is why I came here to read farther as to what it says. Because everything else makes absolutely no goddamn sense. How are we going to use the embarrassing pose talking about laxatives? Night vision, AC, knife, are you kidding me?
Just a little bit from
Go ahead
There might
and
have
speed
been
this
some
up a bit.
laxatives in it, don't you
No, it wasn't!
No, that's wrong.
We can actually prove that by the second person who ate Teru's food.
No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall. Because Peko wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
Some of it, she ate all of it.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine.
Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
Terra's food. You are the blackened.
I apologize for causing a scene. Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
Alright, knock it off!
Cease this bickering.
Listen to the ultimate princess. She will backhand you royally.
Let's just dismiss Peko's stomachache as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout.
Monami swaying back and forth is oddly hypnotizing.
Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank.
Oh!
You don't have to tell us.
Oh, that was harsh.
Trashy skank?
Alright, back on topic. Sorry we had to divulge some details, Peko. It was required. Talking about the blackout would get some answers. And if it wasn't a person who tripped the breaker, maybe it was something else. And yes, I have been reading your comments. I think you were on the right track.
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters. Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
By the way, I'm not a trashy skank.
Mikon, you're an angel. I bet you anything. Alright, so you noticed how many agreement statements that we have to go through. There's a lot of people who have decent theories. And now we need to figure out which one we can actually go
How did
with.
they do it?
So if we think about all the different methods that they could have used to trip the breaker,
Did they throw a stone?
how about the one that makes the most sense? Throwing a stone? Forget it.
Remote control?
Remote control? Good idea, but not really.
Probably messed with the breaker.
Yes, but how?
It does not have to be the breaker.
Right.
They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Good attempt,
Or
but
maybe they
no.
caused a power surge?
Yes! Thank you!
I agree with that.